Hi there, everyone, and welcome back. We have the pleasure of speaking to Jason from Universal Mortgage today. Thanks so much for joining us. And you all have been in the business 15 years, so you've been through the ups and the downs and all the cycles, and you have sort of probably tips to assuage our viewers and give them helpful advice about how to proceed when they're thinking about needing to get a loan. Welcome again, Jason.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks. Tell us, obviously, probably for most companies, the bread and the butter is the conventional loans.
Correct.
Tell viewers what they need to keep in mind before considering what type of a loan they're getting, what type of property they're getting. What is something that they need to really sit down and think about first?
Well, you definitely want to think about your credit. You want to make sure that's in play. We need a 620 score for conventional. We can go down to a 580 score on FHA, and we can even go down to a 550, okay, if you're putting 10% down on an FHA product.
So let me just understand. So on the FHA, if you have a lower score than the 620, is
Correct.
it still the 3% or the 5%?
Correct,
or what?
3.5% down.
Even if they have the lower credit?
Even if they have the lower credit.
Okay.
Correct, to a 580 score.
Okay.
Okay. Like you said, our bread and butter is a conventional and FHA. We do a lot of condos out east, 95% financing. You need a 620 score for that. There's no restrictions now in Miami-Dade counties, no
Really?
LTV restrictions. Even in Brickell. The
When
market
did that change? When did that?
That's been in play for about 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Not a lot of people, are aware of it because there's so much hard money out there buying up these properties for investments, but the conventional is making a strong play for those. So a lot of end users can now get into those condos that they dreamed of owning on Brickell.
We definitely had a few deals fall through, unfortunately, because of that. And I saw different people posting or mentioning, but I always thought there were many other restrictions. But thank you for sharing that. That's a great news. And you guys have interesting products for investors as well, right?
Absolutely. Yes, we do. We have some hard money products that allow investors, very seasoned investors, not the new investors, but the seasoned investors, to go to 85% LTV. They'll finance 100% of the construction cost or renovation cost. The rates are separate
than the 15% that they're putting down.
Correct. That's a different draw schedule.
Nice.
Okay, but they'll do that as long as the asset is collateralized correctly. We do also have another program where an investor can purchase a home cash, and they can quickly do a cash out refinance based off of the purchase price and get a conventional loan. Okay.
In how much time? In a month? In 2 months? 5 months?
They can do it in the next week.
Really?
Okay. There used to be a 6-month restriction on that, but the lenders have loosened up. The appraised values are back now, so it's an exciting time to be in the lending business and in real estate as well.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
When did that actually start to loosen up? When did you see that change?
That started to loosen up towards the last quarter of last year.
Nice.
Okay, and sometimes in this business, there's so many guidelines and restrictions, you can stumble onto certain things by accident, but that was one of them that we found out, and it's a great little guideline, and we take advantage of it for a lot of our investors.
Yeah, that's why it's wonderful to always have the guidance of people like you all at Universal Mortgage, because things are always changing. There's new programs and new little loopholes in the law that you guys find out about.
I mean, we lead, 24 hours a day, we live and breathe the mortgage and real estate market, so we're definitely on the realtor side when it comes to getting these deals closed. And like you said earlier, you had a deal fall through. We don't have deals fall through. We make sure they are qualified from the beginning so that that you're going to get paid at the end of this transaction.
And, for the public, just so they know, if they're from another country, what types of products do you have available for them?
We do the foreign national programs, okay? It's a little bit tricky with foreign nationals, but we are able to do them, okay? It's about 40 to 30% down on some of them. They got great rates, and we do them quite a bit. So we definitely help them out as far as the foreign nationals are concerned.
And just out of curiosity, what you had mentioned about the investor loans earlier does it have to be under a certain amount? Is the loan is a jumbo
typically,
loan?
Typically the loan has to be over 100K. The smaller loans, the hard money is not going to touch. On the conventional side, our loan minimum is about $75,000 on the conventional side. But for the investors out there that are looking to purchase duplexes and triplexes, you got to come in with 25% down, and you get a nice easy rate, and you can get a nice cash flowing property. And a lot of investors starting to get steered towards that avenue right now because because the market's kind of drying up for single-family homes. So the duplex, triplexes, quadplexes are starting to make a big play this year.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
And you all are licensed mainly in Florida, or do you do other
we're
states?
licensed in a number of states, Maryland all the way down through the southeast, Texas, New Jersey. But, we're in Florida. We love being in Florida, and that's where we have our license,
And where exactly are your offices again?
My office is in Pembroke Pines. We're headquartered out of Miami Lakes. We have local underwriting that understand the borrower. They know the business. They've been around a long time, and they're not here to kill deals. Okay, they're here to make deals happen. We have local appraisal management that help us out when we need it. So we're very well versed at getting these deals done within the allotted time. I know that nowadays 45 days is regular standard for the new contracts for a commitment, but we can typically get it for you in 20 to 25 days.
No, that's wonderful news for everybody around, for investors, for buyers, for realtors. Are there some things that you've seen in this business that realtors should be careful of, or buyers should be careful of, things that they need to sort of have in place? Obviously the credit, but is there anything else, just some helpful hints?
Some helpful hints for realtors is, don't be afraid to ask your borrowers or your buyers, hey, get to the point with them. Did they have any prior foreclosures, bankruptcies, short sales? Ask them those questions. Ask them if their credit scores, where it's at. If it's below 620, then you can know more or less where to dictate, where this loan's going to go. Don't be afraid to ask those questions, but you definitely want to find out. FHA will allow you to do 2 years out of bankruptcy. They'll allow you to do 3 years out of a short sale. Conventional is a little bit tougher. Okay, conventional, it's going to be 4 years for a bankruptcy and 7 years for a foreclosure. So the guidelines are a little different, but if they need to get into an FHA loan, we can do that. But the condos are very limited on FHA financing, so that's not going to happen.
And then recently, very recently, I've heard maybe some of these no-doc things might be back. What's that situation?
Yeah, we have access to the non-prime loans. We don't like to use the term subprime. That's a horrible term from back in 07, 08. Right. Everyone knows about that. So the non-prime loans are making a comeback, and they're a really good loan. Okay, we just had a loan done where a customer was 1 day out of bankruptcy. She got a loan with 10% down, and she got the rate in the mid-sevens. Okay, so you're going to pay a higher rate, but you can make the deal work if you have the 10% to work with, and it's going to help out and be advantageous for a lot of borrowers out there that are coming out of that little swing that we had.
And what about the difference in getting a 20-year or a 30-year or a 15? What do you suggest for people?
I suggest 30-year all day. Okay. Take the 30-year fixed. If you can make the extra payments towards principal, go ahead and do it and knock it down. But realistically, most people, especially in South Florida, it's 5 to 7 years and you're selling again. So take the 30-year fix. Have the peace of mind that you have the lowest rate available. The 15 years great for some people that are getting closer towards the retirement age and they really want to knock down their mortgage balance. But usually the young families, first-time home buyers, it's a straight 30-year fix, and that's pretty much the best way to qualify. FHA allows you to go to 55% debt to income ratio. Conventional is at 45%. So yeah, you have more purchasing power when it comes down to FHA.
And explain to our viewers who may be potential first-time home buyers or the younger millennials what exactly are those loan-to-value amounts, or what they're allotted when they get qualified?
So first-time home buyers, I always suggest the FHA program. Given the market right now, the appraisal values are coming up pretty strong. Sellers are being kind of stingy when it's coming down to getting their price they're looking for. So they can come in with 3.5% down. So that's a 96.5% LTV financing for FHA. We do have a program for conventional that'll allow for 3% down, and you can get a lower mortgage insurance through the My Community program for the first-time home buyer. Now,
what is that My Community program?
My Community program is just a program that Fannie Mae has set up to help first-time home buyers. So they offer a little bit cheaper mortgage insurance. Okay, but you have to at least not have owned a home for at least 3 years.
Okay. And going back, because I had this question earlier and I thought of it after, but if you're an investor, what does that mean, seasoned investor? How many properties do you have to have?
Hard money lenders, are typically not looking for the for the first-time seasoned investor. They want to do some business with, somebody that has a portfolio, that has done this business before. They've have a history of buying and selling and flipping homes.
Gotcha.
So the first-time investor, it might be a little tough. You might pay a little bit higher points. But once you get your foot in the door, it's kind of like they know you, they know what you're about, and they can trust you.
Yeah. And what are those rates looking at in general? I know it's all over the board, I'm sure, but what do they start at?
Those are pretty much standard, around 12 to 11%. Interest-only payments. There's no prepay involved. So as soon as you fix it up and get it ready to go, you can sell it and just not pay a prepayment penalty. They've really gone away from those. So
there's no prepayment penalty at all.
Correct.
In general, or like in general?
In general, yeah. Okay. In general, you might find some lenders that will try and offer a 1 year and they give you a little bit better rate. But the reality is most people want no prepay because they either want to sell the place or they want to refinance and get out of it at some point.
And is that available to foreigners, or they don't?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So hard money is
the hard money doesn't really look at the credit. They look at the asset. They look at the LTV, how much cash you're coming in with. They really don't care where you're from, So as long as the deal makes sense and it's kind of common sense underwriting, we can get those done as well.
And do you all do commercial deals as well? Is that that's
absolutely.
Okay.
We do a lot of commercial deals. We have some nice niche products there for our commercial lenders. So we do those as well. Warehouses and commercial buildings and stuff like that. We do them.
And just for those of who knows, maybe there's some viewers who may be sort of thinking about entering that particular type of investment product. What do those start at? And I'm sure it depends on the actual property, whether it's a warehouse, a condo.
Yeah.
Or a shopping mall,
I'll give you an example. We just closed a 12-unit apartment complex that a real savvy investor bought in 2007. They bought it super cheap. They cashed out about $150,000, and they got a 7-year fixed rate, and the rate was about 7.5%. Okay,
nice, okay.
It was a fully amortizing rate. He was super happy with the product, so he knows he has 7 more years that he has his cash flowing apartment building that's making money for him. So it depends on obviously the borrower, the asset, the credit, but usually mid-7s to mid-8s is where you can get a nice fixed rate on one of your commercial products. Okay, you can reach me at jclark@umafi, UMAFI.com. That's my email address. You can contact me there anytime.
And just because Jay could either be Jay or Jay, could you just spell out your email address?
It's J, the letter J, Clark, CLARK, @umafi.com.
And if you want to leave a phone number or something?
Yeah, if you want to leave your phone number, you can contact me at 954-300-5213. That's my cell phone. I pick it up as much as I can. I'm kind of addicted to my phone. But or you can even text me to that number as well. Okay,
you want to repeat that, or do you have any social media handles that you want to let people know about?
Yes, my Twitter handle is Real Estate J. And
J with a J-A-Y or just J?
J-A-Y, correct. Okay. _J. And let me apologize. Real Estate _JAY. And you can reach me on Facebook at Universal Mortgage and Finance Pembroke Pines.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we're looking forward to all working together and making it a great year for everyone.
Absolutely.
So, thanks again.
Thank you so much.